Second. About the video. For the past 3 decades, smoking Ed Currie has been breeding the world's hottest pepper, the Carolina Reaper. Great Big Story went to his South Carolina farm where he's breeding a number of secret, unreleased peppers that he claims are even hotter than his famous Reaper. So we're going to take a look at this article. Here are some of the vocabulary words in the story. Could you read these vocabulary words?
Yes. Very, very quiet.
Very red.
Secret.
Very
Very,
red.
very red.
Mhm.
Quiet. Secret. Thin. Fixed.
Okay. All right. So here are some phrases that we're going to see. Many of these recordings remain unreleased to the public. What does the word unreleased mean?
Unannounced, not seen by public.
Perfect. The farmer crossed two kinds of peppers to create this one. What do you think crossed means?
Hybrid. Make two plant to generation.
Mhm.
Uh,
To mix things together. Number
yes.
3, allergies gives me a runny nose and bloodshot eyes. When your eyes, what color is blood? What color is blood? What color is blood?
Because the vein.
Red. So bloodshot means that your eyes look red. Okay. He
Okay.
teared up when he teared up when we said goodbye. What does teared up mean?
So to sad.
To be sad.
That
Mhm.
yes, to be sad.
And number 5, sometimes what is perceived as aggression is simply fear. Sometimes what is perceived as aggression is perceived as fear, is simply fear. Okay. Sometimes what we think, sometimes what we believe as aggression is simply fear. This might help. Look at number 1, read number 1 and tell me if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5.
Okay.
Read number 1 for me. Read number 1 for me. Many.
3.
No, but read it for me. Many.
Many of those recordings remain unreleased to the public.
Okay. So it is number 3. And this word is many. Many.
Many.
And unreleased means it is a secret. Number 2. Read number 2 for me.
The farmer crossed two kinds of papers to create this one. Cross to number 5.
Very good. And what is number 5? What is the word? What is that word?
Makes two kinds things to create a new one.
Very good. Number 3.
Allergies give me a runny nose and bloodshot eyes. Compared to number 2. Number 1, very red.
Very red. Okay. Very red. Number 4.
He teared up when we said goodbye. To number 2.
Number 2. And what is number 2?
cry,
Right. And finally, number 5.
sometimes what is perceived as aggression is simply fear. To pair to number 3.
Are you sure? It's number 3.
Number
Yeah,
4.
it's 3. It's 3, but I've got the wrong one. Unreleased means to be
Okay.
seen. So we'll take this one out, and there we're good. Unreleased means that it's available to be seen. All right. Any questions about those? I think we're
So, so the perceive it means secret
no, perceived means
about things, right?
no. I think we've got perceived. Perceived means to be seen. No, it means to be seen. Unreleased. Let me think about that. Perceived is the way that I see things. Unreleased. Oh, we were right. It was correct to begin with. I'm sorry, it's my mistake. My mistake. Let me put it back. We had it correct when we did it the first time. So unreleased, but unreleased means that you can't see it. So it's a
Okay.
secret. Okay.
Okay.
Perceived means that we can't see it now. It is not hidden. So that is the correct answer. Let's change this. Unreleased is a secret, and perceived means to be seen. There. So now we have the corrections.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. All right. So I am going to go to fill in the blanks. The next thing that we're going to do is fill in the blanks. We've already used these words, so this time I think you should be able to tell me very easily what words go in the blank. Okay, so the first one is going to be
Cats can
cats can't.
perceive
Very good.
color.
Cats can't perceive color. And let's make this probably black. And cats can't perceive color. Good. Number 2.
As she said goodbye to her friends, she started tear up,
So we're going to
tearing up.
cheering up. Okay, we need to add ing. She started cheering, cheering up, and put a period in. Okay. Number 3.
He got in trouble because he shared unreleased information within the public.
Very good. He got in trouble because he shared unreleased information with the public.
I could tell by her bloodshot eyes that she had been crying.
Mhm. I could tell by her bloodshot eyes that she had been crying. And number 5.
Their music is a cross of rock with pop.
Very good. Their music is a cross of rock with pop. Awesome. Awesome. Very good. Let's see. Our next section has to do with vocabulary. Again, what is number 1? To become red in the face. Sometimes when you get ready to,
To
you're,
flush.
yes, it is to flush. Nicely done. To flush. So you're going to see these words in the story, and this helps you to understand what they are, to understand the meaning. Number 2,
To blister. A blister.
very good.
Eh?
That's correct. A blister. Number 3, read number 2. A blister. Read for me. A raised.
Erase hollow area on a surface.
Okay. Number 3.
Uh,
This would be an idiom.
to
Mhm.
to get a kick out of.
Good. To get a kick out of. Okay. And the last one.
To breed.
Mhm. And read the sentence.
To produce plants for chosen qualities.
Perfect. Perfect. Now we're going to take a look at what is another way to say these sentences. You might have to change the sentence or change the preposition or add a preposition. I really enjoy driving fast cars. You're going to rewrite the sentence using one of the words that we've learned. I really
Oh,
enjoy driving fast cars.
okay. Um, I I love driving faster cars. I to get a kick out of
Yes,
driving faster cars.
okay, very good. It's I really get a kick out of driving fast cars. Okay, number 2.
You will get a blister in the plant in the pants if you leave it under the sun for too long.
You'll get raised hollow areas in the paint if you leave it under the sun for too long.
You will get a blister in the pants if you leave it under the sun for too long.
Good. You will get a blister in the paint if you leave it under the sun for too long. Okay. And the next one will be number 3. Number 3.
They cross different kinds of corn to make a stronger variety.
Okay. They crossbreeded different kinds of corn to make a stronger variety. And number 4.
I felt my cheeks beat in blush when I hear the compliment.
When I heard the compliment.
When I heard,
I felt I felt my
I felt my cheeks blush when I heard the compliment.
perfect. Very nicely done. All right. So we're making sure that when we read the article that you understand what we've read, what we've heard, and what we've said. Now I want you to read what we're going to see in the article. Could you read this article for me?
Yes. Since the first time it was announced to the public that we were growing this, there were literally thousands of YouTube videos of people eating corona wrappers all over the world. I get a kick out of most of them. Those
So you want to make sure that you pronounce the endings of your words, videos. Since the first time
videos,
it was announced to the public that we were growing these, there were literally thousands of YouTube videos of people eating Carolina Reapers all over the world. I get a kick out of most of them. Remember, this is I get a kick out of most of them, or I get a kick out of. Okay,
okay,
continue.
those it can be unpleasant. It's not a dangerous thing to eat super hot peppers. It's a chemical reaction your brain perceives as heat, so you won't stop doing it.
Okay, so here we have perceives. It seems,
Perceive,
it seems that your brain is experiencing some type of trauma. Okay, can, though it can be unpleasant, it's not a dangerous thing to eat super hot peppers. It's a chemical reaction your brain perceives as heat, so you will stop doing it. Okay, continue.
okay. Smoking at
Curry, curry.
Curry, Curry.
Mhm.
I created the
Carol,
Carolina, Carol, Carol,
Lina,
Carolina Reaper. I
continue.
get I got into breathing papers in college, and just really was interested in getting hotter and hotter papers. Once I tried them,
Guinness, Guinness,
Guinness awarded me the world record for the hottest paper in November of 2013. To breed those things, I crossed a ghost paper with a ham,
habanero,
um,
habanero.
haban- habanero, and what came out was this evil-looking paper that had words,
Warts, warts.
words all over it, blistered like colon. And the first time I tasted it, it clapped me to my knees.
Okay. I got into breeding peppers in college and just really was interested in getting hotter and hotter peppers once I tried them. Guinness awarded me the world record for the hottest pepper in November of 2013. To breed these things, I crossed a ghost pepper with a habanero, and what came out was this evil looking pepper that had warts all over it, blisters, they call them. And the first time I tasted it, it knocked me to my knees. Okay, blisters is the raised skin. Breeding is to cross or to mix something. And tasted means that you put it in your mouth to get the flavor of the item. Any
Yes.
questions? No questions? Okay.
Uh,
Okay. Continue. We get our peppers.
we get our papers tested regularly at
Winthrop.
we
Winthrop.
Win Winthrop University by Dr. Col- Calloway,
Callaway.
Calloway, Calloway in the chemistry lab. All papers are measured by Sco-
Scoville.
Sco- Scoville, Scoville heat units, which tell you how hot the paper is. Bell papers have 0 Scoville heat units.
Jalapeno.
The
Jalapeno.
jalapeno is about 5,000. Zero
Serrano.
Serrano, a
20.
Serrano 20,000. Red habaneros, 200,000. Ghost pepper 60 600,000. Then you get to the Carolina pepper, which is
1 million. 1 million.
1,569,000 hit units, the hottest things in the world.
Okay. We get our peppers tested regularly at Winthrop University by Dr. Calloway in the chemistry lab. All peppers are measured by Scoville heat units, which tell you how hot the pepper is. Bell peppers have 0 Scoville heat units. Jalapeno is about 5,000. A serrano, 20,000. Red habaneros, 200,000. Ghost peppers, 600,000. Then you get to the Carolina Reaper, which is 1,569,000 heat units, the hottest thing in the world. All right, so 1,569,000 heat units is amazing.
Yes.
So would you prefer to have the one that is 5,000 or the one that is 1,569,000? It seems like it would be extremely hot. I would not venture anyone try the 1 million Scoville heat unit. All right. Can you read the third paragraph?
Yes, but you add the Carolina pepper. The first sensation you get is sweet, and then all of a sudden the head starts going.
Heat.
It's like the heat starts going. It's like burning, burning, burning. Then the physiological stuff starts. Your eyes will bloodshot. They just start tearing up and watering. The skin flushes. You start breathing hot. Your metabolism starts raising up. Some people say it's like eating mol- molten
Molten
molten lava.
lava.
Lava. Lava.
Okay,
Add
let's stop right there. When you eat the Carolina Reaper, the first sensation you get is sweet, and then all of a sudden the heat starts coming, or the heat starts going. It's like burning, burning, burning. Then the physiological stuff starts. Your eyes will bloodshot. They just start watering. They just start tearing up and watering. The skin flushes. You start breathing hard. Your metabolism starts raising up. Some people say it's like eating molten lava. So when we have the word heat, we think of something getting warmer and warmer. The physiological aspect is how your body reacts. If you start to itch, you start to cry, you start to sneeze, those are the physiological things that happens in your body. When you get bloodshot eyes, that means that your eyes are red. Flushes is when your cheeks are warm, and you can see it if you're a light complexion, you can see that your cheeks will turn a pink or reddish color. Molten is like the lava that comes from volcanoes. When the volcanoes erupts, that hot lava comes out. So here they're saying that hot pepper is as if you're putting lava in your face or in your mouth. Okay.
Okay, so molten lava is means volcano.
Yes, that's how hot. That's how hot that pepper is that you put in your mouth. It will appear as if you will have the perception, or it can be perceived that you're putting your mouth on some molten lava from the volcano, just to give you an idea of how hot this
Okay.
pepper is. All right. Now, you'll need to read the last sentence so that we can continue. Others will say it's like,
Others will say it's like licking the sun. To me, it's like eating a char-
charcoal,
charcoal,
charcoal
charcoal,
brigade.
charcoal briquettes. And no matter what you do, you cannot get that burning out of the back of your mouth. I mean, it's crazy.
Okay. Others will say it's like licking the sun. To me, it's like eating a charcoal briquette. And no matter what you do, you cannot get that burned out of the back of your mouth. I mean, it's crazy. And a charcoal briquette is a tiny little coal um, that you use to barbecue. It's a little black thing that you barbecue with. Let's see, it's just black. That would be like a briquette. Okay. Any questions?
Um, I don't know what charcoal is.
Okay. Charcoal. Let's see if I can find a charcoal briquette. Sometimes we have cookouts at home, and
Yes.
with those cookouts, we have those little coals that we put in the grill. Charcoal grill. Let's see. Charcoal. Here's one, I think. I should have just clicked picture. Let's go again. Charcoal grill. Okay, so here's the chart. Here's the grill. Do you see the images? Do you see the
Yes.
grill? Okay, now let's put in charcoal. Charcoal briquettes. And these are the little briquettes, the little coals that you burn.
Oh,
And over here,
okay.
see one that's burning. This is burning. So this is how hot they're saying that pepper
Okay.
is as hot as putting your tongue. Can you imagine putting your tongue on that little briquette? I
Yes.
I cannot imagine. All right, let's read. Any other questions about that?
No.
Okay, let's read the next paragraph.
Okay. A lot of what I do is creative expression. You look for trees in one paper and you look for trees in another
Traits.
trace in another, and you try to combine them and keep both those traits. There are other breeders
Read.
breeder who are trying to break out our record, but with being holding unreleased papers in our back pockets. They are twice as hot or more than the Carolina, Carolina,
Reaper.
Carolina paper that we could submit to
Guinness.
Guinness at any time.
Okay. A lot of what I do is creative expression. You look for traits in one pepper and you look for traits in another, and you try to combine them to keep both these traits, both those traits. There are other breeders who are trying to break our record, but we've been holding unreleased peppers in our back pocket that are twice as hot or more than the Carolina Reaper that we could submit to Guinness at any time. So we have the word breeders. We know that he is breeding or mixing different types of peppers together to get a
Yes.
very hot pepper. And unreleased, even if someone wants to come up with a hotter pepper than the 1 million one plus, he's saying that they have some others that they have not even shown to the Guinness. And I think, I hope, are you familiar with the Guinness Book of Record? It's a book of unusual events and unusual things. Are you familiar with a book called the Guinness Book of Record?
Okay. I know. Uh, can have many different kinds of records.
Hmm.
Will submit to get Guinness.
That's correct. Many different types of reports of events that has taken place and people have published.
Yes.
Any other questions?
No.
Okay, the last paragraph.
My perception of what the limits are of how hot you can breed a paper has changed as the science has progressed over the years. Just tell me something can't be done. I'm gonna figure out a way to do it.
Okay, so in this last paragraph, this person is just saying his name is the some type of reaper, that if you tell him that something can't be done, he's going to try and figure out a way to do it. Okay, so that took us
Okay.
to the end of the article. Now let's look back at um, let's look at these words: secret, mixed, very red, cried, seen, perceived, tearing up or to tear up, unreleased, bloodshot, and cross. And let's talk about this article briefly. So it would be like something similar to this is what I understood about the article. Um, I understood that this man has a secret of how he actually mixes the various peppers together. And
Yes.
when he mixes these and you actually try to put one of these in your mouth, it will make you cry. Your eyes will become very red. And the perception is that you are eating some briquettes or licking a lava stone. Your eyes start to tear up. But he's got many other uh, breeded peppers that he has not, that are unreleased. But he has the opportunity to cross these peppers with others. But keep in mind that if you eat one of those, you're going to get bloodshot eyes. Okay, so tell me about the article. Try to use as many of these words as you can in 1 minute. Okay, you may start now.
Okay. Uh, it's a man. He has a secret method to mix two kinds paper to create the hottest paper in the world. They can make someone's mouth make someone cry and the eyes bloodshot when he eats the paper, and the
Mhm.
paper haven't been seen by public. Um, he has he still have um, unreleased method to create the paper. They can tear they can tear up the people.
Okay, so that was 1 minute.
Okay.
That was good. That was 1 minute, and that was very good.
Okay.
So I'm going to also send you the link so you can watch this. You'll watch the video after class, and you'll be like, oh, okay, I understand what the article is actually talking about when you see it. So when I saw it, it was just like, what? These people